Rebellions are built on hope. This line shows up 3 times in the Andor universe, twice in Rogue One and once in Andor Season 2.
Rebellions are built on hope.
It's weird though, because as I rewatched the Narkina 5 arc in Season 1, one thought popped into my head. It's only when the inmates had no hope that they rebelled. They find out that their prison sentences aren't real, and that instead of being released, they just get transferred to another cell block. This breaks their hope that they will get out of jail alive, and it leads to a rebellion. So in this case, their rebellion was built on no hope rather than hope, a seemingly stark difference from the worldview the Andor writers have. To show you what I mean, let's start with the moment we meet the best character in Andor, Kino Loy.
This is Unit 52D. Level 5, Room 2. The D is for day shift.
From the first moment Kino enters frame, he becomes the most interesting man on screen. We hear his powerful, grizzled voice as the camera pans behind him. We don't even see his face until 15 seconds later, and when we do, this guy looks like he eats nails for breakfast with no milk. Even Andor leans his head back slightly, like you might do if you're scared of what's in front of you.
You won't be back. They only come to pick up the dead and bring their replacements. You're mine now.
Kino exudes authority. He's a natural leader, and we get the sense, quickly, that it's his way or the highway. Then, a minute and 30 seconds into meeting Kino, he barks this dialogue at Andor.
I have 249 days left of my sentence.
Kino's completely bought into the idea that the Empire will release him after his sentence is up. He has hope that this will all end eventually, which makes living in this hellhole bearable for him. I think, though, that his hope also drives a different kind of rebellion inside him. If you think about it, he's in rebellion against his better judgment. This isn't a dumb guy here. He's clearly smart, which is why he's the leader of his group, but his hope makes him overlook a very clear fact that's dangling right in front of him. That he's not getting out of there. That the numbers are a lie. That the payoff he thinks is coming is nothing more than a fugazi. All of us cling on to hope about something, despite knowing in the pit of our souls it's not true. Therefore, all of us are in open rebellion against reality in some way. I never thought that this phrase could be used not only for physical rebellion against tyranny, but also the figurative rebellion going on inside our minds every day that's fueled by baseless hope. When Andor finishes his first shift, the inmates tell him all their sentences got doubled last month, and Melshi tells him straight up to just ignore the numbers. Kino's numbers must have gotten doubled too, and yet he's still holding on to hope that he'll get out of there. Up until this point, Andor thought he could escape the Empire's influence too, and live out his days in peace with all the credits he earned.
We're getting out of here. We're leaving.
To go where?
Anywhere we want.
He had hope that there were still parts of the galaxy unbesmirched by the Empire's rule. Sure, Andor is involved in rebel activity before Narkina 5, but he's not a true loyalist to the cause yet. Remember, it's not until the final scene of the final episode of Season 1 that he becomes a true soldier for the rebellion. For me, the Narkina 5 arc is very important for Andor and what the show in general is trying to say about revolution. There has to be a moment when all hope is lost in the current regime to spark a rebellion. The Empire so far is scary, yes. Powerful, yes. But in the Narkina 5 section of Season 1, I wager we hate the Empire now more than ever. This one scene where Andor enters the prison and gets shocked for the first time was enough to make me want to punch my television screen. I have never felt visceral anger like that watching Star Wars before. I hated this guy. He seemed to take particular pleasure in watching Andor and company get fried. And in my headcanon, he shares a cell next to Dedra after allowing a rebellion on his watch. The Narkina 5 jail is straight out of a Black Mirror episode. It's the stuff of nightmares. We knew the Empire sucked before, but somehow this prison terrifies me more than anything I've seen the Empire do before. Seeing the faces of these poor souls trapped under the thumb of the Empire, and watching the old man die as a slave to this unjust regime grounded the Empire's evil for me in a way I never saw before. My point is, Andor had to arrive at a place of no hope to become a true revolutionary. If the Narkina 5 arc didn't happen, Andor would have probably drank himself to death on this beach as a free man. Tony Gilroy had to concoct the most diabolical situation for Andor to be in to act as a crucible for his transformation. He had to strip Andor of hope to turn him into a true revolutionary. It's the same thing that happens to Luthen Rael. He's carrying out orders as an Imperial sergeant and loses all hope in the Empire as he's forced to carry out some sort of a genocide. In that moment, he wasn't thinking, oh boy, I'll start a rebellion and we'll overthrow the Empire. No, he just wanted to get out of there. I almost think that Andor might be more about the absence of hope and its importance to rebellion than the presence of it. The Gorman Massacre, for example, that was a big wake-up call to the galaxy that the Empire does not care about its subjects and will murder them in the streets if they get in their way. Where the galaxy might have had hope before that the Empire was bad, but not too bad, now there is none. Dedra had hope that if she did her job well, she'd be rewarded for it, only to get thrown into a jail cell or Narkina 5. Cyril had that same hope in the Empire, only to watch it crumble before him as he watched them carry out a genocide. Andor has second thoughts about staying with the rebellion because he has hope for a better life with Bix. She has to leave, removing that hope so he can stay. It's the same thing that happens with Kino Loy in episode 9 and 10. Watch Kino's face here as the doctor tells him about the man released from level 4 who ended up on level 2.
I made a mistake. A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
You can see he doesn't want to believe it, but deep down he knows it's true because part of his brain always knew these sentences were a big lie. Then in episode 10, we watch him slowly unravel, abandon hope, and only think about one thing moving forward: how to get out. It's no mistake that at the end of episode 10, we get this iconic monologue from Luthen Rael.
I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts.
Does this sound like a man who has a lot of hope to you? He's made his mind a sunless space. He's forced to do things he doesn't want to do. He practically begs Lonnie to stay with him because he needs all the heroes he can get. Rebellions thrive on chaos, just like the Empire thrives on order. Does chaos sound like a good plan to you? Like an approach that inspires hope? No, but chaos is the only option once you've been backed into a corner, once you've lost all hope entirely. I know that rebellions are built on hope. Hope for a better future, hope for a better world. But to get to the point where you have a rebellion, hope in the current regime needs to die. Hope in a bright future for yourself needs to die, because you'll be laying your life on the line for the cause. Hope that you are seeing everything clearly needs to die, which is perhaps the hardest part, to deal with the evil right in front of you. Sure, rebellions are built on hope, but they're also built on the rubble of broken hope as well. A fact that Tony Gilroy and company masterfully wove into this show. What did you think about what I talked about here? I'd love your perspectives in the comments section. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more film breakdowns like this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.